We're going to be doing a pancake style wreath today. Pancake style is basically for between the door, if you have a door and a storm door. Let me pull this down just a tiny bit. There we go. How's that? You see this okay? It basically is less than 4 inches wide when you turn your wreath sideways, okay? And it fits between your regular door and your storm door. For those that live up north, it's a nicer wreath because the poof doesn't get squished between your doors, and you don't have to put it on the outside of the door. Now, as most of you know, I breed Yorkies, so this sign says Yorkshire Terrier Trail. So, sorry if I'm getting some glare on there. All right. Now, with pancake style wreath, you only need 12 ties. 12 on the first 2 rings, or excuse me, 6, and then 6. So your first 2 rings have 6, and your second 2 rings have 6. So for this method, you would use the ruffle, okay, where you lay your this is 10 inch, so I cut 12 of these at 10 inch, and then I have another color that's gone on the top, so I cut 6 of those at 12 inch. So basically you're just going to run your fingers up the middle to create your ruffle, and we're starting on the first 2 outer layers. All right. And then what you do is you take the 2 ends and you overlap them on the top and overlap them on the bottom. Now, usually you would have to make your own frame for this because most frames have 8 on the upper ring and 10 on the lower ring. I actually bought a pack of tinsel tie and used that. Cut them up to about 10 inches. Again, you're overlapping your 2 ends on both ends. See, with your ruffle, because it's 20 inches, okay, and then you're going to have another layer and then a top layer. Those layers are staying flatter than regular poofs, and it's covering up your wreath frame, which is what you want. Was it you, Deb, that wanted this wreath? You wanted me to do a pancake? I can't remember who requested on my last live for me to do a pancake. Where's everybody watching from? What state do we have represented? Or is everybody cooking lunch? I'm here in Pennsylvania, and right now it's 2 o'clock, a little after 2. And in the links, you'll find a link to my Facebook page, my Etsy shop, my Facebook bot, and my YouTube channel. If you could share the love, I'd really appreciate it. Hope everybody has sunshine where they're at. Okay, so we've got the first layer of 10 inch, they're 10-inch wide by 20-inch long. Okay, so it's not the 21-inch size, it's the 10-inch size rolls. Now, before you go on to the second layer, the best thing to do is to put your tails on now. All right? Because when you do your second layer of your ruffle, it's going to cover up this. So these are easier to get at now than later. Okay? And I have two different kinds here. Well, 4 kinds. I've got the blue with the turquoise with the white and the brown with the paw prints and the little bones. And then I've got the red polka dots with the black ones. Oh no. Storms are coming. And remember, when you're doing this method, you don't need to cut your usual 18, 9 of each color. You're only doing 6 of each color. So basically this wreath saves you money in mesh and in ribbon. I used like a poly burlap on the tan. That's what it is. Okay. I used to make my wreaths with pipe cleaners, and I'm telling you, the quality of the pipe cleaners has turned out to be really lousy, to the point where you're twisting away and then it breaks. So that's why I went to the tinsel tie. Missouri. That's where my father was until he passed away. Never got a chance to go there. He was in a veterans nursing home out there. But I have a niece out there. She works at a hospital. Always wanted to go. One of these days, I'm sure we'll get out there. Mount Vernon. So are you about an hour's difference, Deb? Are you about an hour's difference? Just let me know if the sound starts going. Okay, so yeah, you are about an hour. I have a feeling when I'm done with this wreath, it's not going anywhere. It's probably going to stay here. I breed Yorkies, and I have a classroom, and I have a lot of Yorkie parents that want to take classes, so I purchased some extra signs, so I'll probably hang it up in my classroom. All right, so we've got all the tails on the bottom layer. So we did a 20-inch ruffle, and then we put our tails on. Now we're going to go to the second layer. So, again, our 10-inch mesh cut at 20 inches. to overlap in the two ends. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this on the wreath, but I have a little Yorkie. So I'm going to try and get that on the wreath. Don't know if the weight won't allow or not. We'll see. See how your second layer kind of covers up your tails? Now, I cut the tails at 13 inches. All right, so that's why it's so important to get your tails on first before you put the second layer on. This method was created by Millie Mel. I'll have to find out her Facebook page and add it to the links. I'm thinking she probably lives somewhere where they request wreaths that aren't as poofy. And I need one more. Okay. Now I pulled some of the colors out of the sign. If you'll notice, there's some red here and there's some brown. So I thought this would be a nice complement. This is that that fabric mesh. I only use this when I have a stiffer base because this is kind of flimsy. So unless you have a lower base that's a little bit stiff, it kind of really flattens out on you. But I think it'll do good here because this is a little stiff. And I wanted to get some of the red in there. But this stuff frays really bad. So I'm just putting it on top of the last one I did. Deb, are you in Lori's group? Hardworking Mom? No? I'm gonna make sure that they know I'm live. Actually, I'm not sure how to share it. YouTube. Excuse me, just a minute. And I'll just copy this. I sent out all my reminders, but for some reason, people aren't getting the message. That's why I asked if you were in Lori's group, if you could pass it on, but we got it. There we go. Now, why won't it let me hit post? There we go. There. All right. Done. Thank you. Okay. So as you can see, look how thin that is. And even adding your bow, it's still going to be thin. All right. So what I want to kind of do is figure out where my sign's going to go first. And then I'll have an idea, because it looks like, okay, if I place the sign where it is now, I should be able to get tails here and there. All right. I have a few things to put on the wreath. I'm not sure what is going to end up staying on the wreath, but I've got a few things that I thought would look good. Do you like making wreaths, Deb? And have you been doing it long? This is therapy for me. Hey, Dawn, my business bud. We're putting a sign on to our pancake wreath. This is one of the ones that everybody's been requesting. We did poly burlap mesh on the bottom. Cut it 20 inches. It's 10-inch mesh. Oh, you should take a picture and send it to me, to my Facebook page, Deb. I'd love to see them. And then the second layer was the tan poly burlap mesh. And then I added another layer of the check red and tan burlap mesh, or that fabric mesh. We put our tails on already. Now we put our sign on. It says Yorkshire Terrier Trail. Now it's got a little bit of a bow on it. I'm probably going to have to loosen this side. I just had to go on and share. Nobody was on. There. And I actually made my own wreath with the tinsel, what do they call it? It comes in a bag. It's tinsel ties, or just tinsel rope, or garland it's called. I'm working on a tool that I'll be able to clamp mine on. I've been using the pipe cleaners and I'm just not happy with the quality. They've been really horrible, breaking, and so I am waiting on my tool to arrive so I can show everybody how I'm going to be making my own wreaths from now on. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I appreciate it. Okay, so we've got our sign on. I don't know. I think she's going to be... I could put her down here or up here. She actually fell and had a broken ear. So I went and got her a little straw hat today to cover the broken ear. Now I'm going to add some ribbon, or I even thought somewhere in here it'd be cute to put a little nest. And there's a little robin. Because the name of my Yorkie breeding program is Robin's Yorkie Nest. So I thought that kind of be cute. So I don't know. I may see if I can work her in up here and then put the nest somewhere near her. I want to put a few bows on her hat. So I think we'll stick her... Uh-oh, she still has the price tag on. We don't want that showing. In fact, I got a bunch of them last year, and they have them back there again. I bought out all their Yorkies last year because all my Yorkie parents, puppy parents, wanted one. So I think we'll get her somewhere in here. I think she'll look cute there. Yeah, because there's a tie here, so we should be able to put a real nice bow on her to look like a collar and then get her on there. All right. So again, a recap, my tails were cut at 13 inches. We've got the red and polka dot with the paw prints, and then we've got the turquoise with the brown that has bones and paw prints. So we'll get those on there. And then we'll do our bow. Now I have flowers I could put on there, or I thought these were really pretty. They kind of look like a ball, and they actually have the colors that's in the wreath. So maybe I'll put, I don't know, might put those there, and then put this, I don't know. It's going to be a work in progress, because I'll probably end up changing my mind anyhow. So, Have you done the pancake style yet, Dawn? I added it to my classroom schedule, and oh my gosh, people are signing up. Because, see, up here in the north, we have storm doors. So I did it in class last week. One of my customers requested it, and hers turned out really good. And when we did it, Dawn, the first row, we put the first row of ruffles around the bottom and put the tails on at that time, because it kind of gets buried under there with the next layer. So you're better off putting it in then. And I sent you a message the other day. I don't think you got it. I have a trick I need to show you for YouTube. So I'll get with you. And I don't know, maybe these balls aren't going to look good on here. Maybe I ought to just stick with a bow and some flowers. Yes, I did, Dawn. Sent it through Messenger. And maybe it was to your personal one. Maybe it wasn't to the business one. Maybe that's why. We'll talk later. I'll show you what you need to do. Oops, gonna break her other ear. I want to loosen this up a little. It's got a bow going on. Oh no, it was the other side. And I don't know, I think I'm going to still put those tails under where the dog is going to sit, because it'll come out the back, up the top. All right. I want her to sit down in more, so I think we'll just bury her feet. Trying to think. I think I'll just use wire to tie her down right now. But I'm thinking this is one of the flowers I had. I think it's too big, and the red is going to disappear, so I'm going to have to come up with a different color flower, because these are nice, but I think they're too big. Although I could put that one down here above the bow. It was supposed to make it look like little balls that they would play with, and that looks kind of stupid. So I will have to come up with something else. What was I doing? Sorry, little one. Don't mean to choke you. Okay, so she's in there. And then we'll make our bow. But see how narrow it is? Even with the bow, it's not going to get squished between the door. It's still below like 4 inches. We'll have to get a real pretty collar to put on her. Nice ribbon to kind of make that wire disappear. And then we'll put a little flower on her hat. I definitely want a flower on there. I'm just not sure what color. So, let's see. This is adding another color, and I don't think I want to do that. I may just have to go with daisies, because that's adding another color. I don't want to do that. So, I'm not going to worry about that now. I'm just going to make the ribbon, and then I'll decide when I'm off. Because I could even get some smaller balls than this. I have smaller sizes. All right, I'm just going to go with the easy bow. And I think I'm going to make my tails at about 14. And my loop's starting out about 6. And I'm going to do 2 loops on one side and 2 tails on the other side. I'm going to go this way. Yep, I want that on this side. do have one more of the Yorkie signs left. I didn't post it on Etsy yet, but if somebody's interested, they can just let me know. And this one, I want to do that little loop in the middle there. So I'll have the other side of it on there. Okay. Run my wire through there before I tighten it up. Fluff box and fluff this bow up. Pull out the back ones first. Now when you do 3 loops, you want one that looks like the head, the side ones look like the arms, and then the tails hang down. And then you do the opposite on the next layer. Make it look like you've got your head down here. You have an arm over here. Wait, that goes over top of it. An arm over here. And then your tails. So these are here. So I want to get these up here. Then the black is the next layer. So we've got the head, the arms, and the tails. And I'm going to twist these up. And feel free to share, spread the love if you could. I've got that extra loop in here that I wanted. I'm going to get that like in the middle. Get this off to the side. Okay. I think I'm going to remove this tail down here where I'm putting the bow because you're not going to see it anyhow. And that's what we ended up doing when I had taught this method in class. We ended up removing that tail. So really you only need to cut 5 of one and 6 of the other pair. I'm going to try and get this on the 2 upper rings because I want it to stay up and not fall down to the bottom ring. Now, I'm just looking to see what flowers I have that I could put in the middle of these tails. I have some daisies. They would stand out. I don't think I like those. I don't know. I think this is the part I'm going to have to play around with it a while. The daisies look okay. So maybe just the daisies. Because I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can even put one on our little girl here. Give her a real pretty collar with a daisy. have a little blue bow. Nope. This. I think I like the daisies on it better than the balls. The balls weren't the right size. And they stand up against the red. A little blue on this one. And then I'll pretty her up with a collar and a flower in her hat. And I still may find a place for the little bird's nest with the robin to go with my my kennel name, Robin's Yorkie Nest. Just something different for in there. All right, there it is. And again, if you turn it sideways, you're still at about 5 inches, even with the bow. Can you see it? What do you think? Maybe I'll put the bird in her hat. Thank you, Deb. Thanks, Dawn. I think I'll put the bird on her hat. Maybe just put a little piece of ribbon up there and stick the bird up there. That bird was, believe it or not, my mom again. She had all these little birds because she used to make these little mushroom-like displays, and she had all these little animals and little birds on it. And when she passed away, my husband said, "Are you going to keep those?" I said, "Yep, because I will find a place to put them." And I'm glad I did, because there was a little robin in there. So I think she needs just a little ribbon on her head and the robin sitting on top. Very unique, something different. Does anybody have any questions? Can I answer anybody's questions? I appreciate you stopping by. It means a lot. Thanks, buddy, for hanging in there. And I'll, when I get off and get back upstairs, we'll talk. If you have time, you can even call me. I can message you my phone number and just call me if you... I don't know, does she look good with a daisy on her? You're welcome. Thank you. All right, guys. I'll be back on live on Monday on Facebook, and next Wednesday, again, same time here. Okay? All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.